Fine. Good evening, all of you. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Do you know anything about programming? Most of you must have learned something about programming because nowadays in colleges or sometimes in schools also, some sort of programming is happening, some introduction to programming. So, which programming language you have learned before? May I know this?
So about Java.
Okay, you learned Java. Okay. So already you have introduction with Java, right? Okay, fine. Anybody else must have learned other language also. I don't know exactly, but C language or maybe Python, C++, yeah. Okay. So, so these are all programming languages. So we can categorize them as a higher level programming language, right? Or higher level programming languages. So, can anybody tell me exactly what is meant by higher level programming language?
Hello, sir.
Higher level programming mean the person who is advanced with the Java or Python like this, sir.
Person, it is related with person.
Sir, yes, sir.
So can anybody refine this meaning or definition what he has told just now?
Can I go ahead?
Yes, yes.
Higher programming language means which has more of, common English language syntax rather than very machine language, only which is more easy to understand by human.
Correct. Okay, fine. As you highlighted, English-like language or human-like language. So this is a bifurcation or diversion, you can say. So it's just like we are going on the road and there is a diversion, right? Something like that. One road goes towards human language, another is going towards machine language. Machine means computer. Okay, and computer understands something, but computer cannot understand our language, human language. Not any language, not English or not Hindi or Russian, Spanish. Nothing is expected to be understood by computer, right? So this you have to think. But whatever programming is done, that is close to our human language. Okay, that's why these are called as higher level programming language. But the question comes, what computer can understand? So just now I told computer cannot understand our languages or human languages. Those are machines. So what computer can understand?
Sir, binary language.
Correct.
0 and
Binary
1.
language. As Ganesh has highlighted. Computers understand binary language. Binary. Okay, see, we are discussing from very basic. To clarify the concepts. Conceptual clarity is very important. That's why we are discussing right from basic, right? Okay. So binary, when we say binary means which is of two things, which is formed of two things, which consists of two things. Now in this case, binary language means it consists of 0 and 1, these two digits. Okay. So these two binary digits, these are called as binary digit, and accordingly, there is one separate number system called as binary number system. Similar to our decimal number system, what numbers we use in day-to-day life. Today is 3rd January. 3 is our decimal number. 2025 is a year. That is also under our decimal number, right? But computer has its own number system, and based on that, we understand something, and computer understands something. Now, just a moment. I'll share screen. So these are the some of the points we will be discussing. And right now I'm just interacting with you about basics. So introduction to Java. Okay, fine. So we are talking about binary. So whatever instruction needs to be given to the computer, that has to be given in the form of binary. Okay. And we as a human being, writing instructions in binary is very difficult. So why to give instructions? Because whenever we say computer program, it is a set of instructions, right? So that those instructions must be given in binary actually to the computer. Okay. But writing instructions in binary, it's very difficult uh, and error prone by human beings. Okay. And it's a tiring task, boring task. It will take longer time. Okay. So it's not efficient as well. That's why uh, these programming languages are created like Java, C, C++, Python, Basic, and so many other languages are there. So these languages are very close to human language. So as human languages have grammar similar to that, these languages also have grammar. So this programming language grammar is generally called as syntax. Okay. So as per syntax, they work. So that means the programmer means we have to follow the syntax of particular language. Means Java has its own syntax, C++ has its own set of rules syntax, Python has its own set of rules that is also has different syntax. So just we have to keep this in mind. These programming languages have some syntax and we need to follow it. And if we don't follow, there will be error, generally called as syntax error, etc. So these details we will be looking after little later. But right now, we will see the programming process, how it's happening. So here it is highlighted. Okay, as it is highlighted here, here is the program which we are writing in Java. So this is using English-like statements, or it is also called as Java source code, which programmers write, and that is not understood by the machine. So machine understands only 0, 1, 1, 0 series of numbers. Okay. So what we are writing, that is used by something called as compiler. So compiler is basically a software. Java has its own compiler. Okay. Every programming language has compiler, and if not compiler, it has interpreter. What is the use of this, or what is the job of this compiler? It takes our program as an input and converts it into binary code. That is called as my program, sorry, means dot class file, whatever name can be anything. So in this case, it is my program.java, it is converted to my program.class. So even though it is in binary, it is not understood by your machine. Now here comes the magic of the Java. So whatever this circle visible here is Java virtual machine. So exactly speaking, this compiler has converted your program into the format which is understood by this Java virtual machine. Virtual means something which is not really existing. So real machine is here as a symbolically shown as a laptop. It can be any computer or server computer, desktop computer, laptop, or even mobile also. So Java can be used with any of these devices. Okay. But here it's a virtual machine. So this is also one kind of software. So this compiler is targeted at this virtual machine. So why is it like this? Other programming language doesn't have this kind of arrangement, but Java has this kind of arrangement. So we'll come to that point. In one word, I will tell you, or two words, platform independence. So this is one of the features of Java, platform independence, and that is possible because of this concept of virtual machine and this Java virtual machine software. Okay. So right now just remember here is some component known as Java virtual machine, and these are the steps to create the program. So whenever you develop software, always remember whatever code you're writing, 1 line or 10 line or any number of lines, that needs to be compiled first, then it will be converted to dot class file. If there is no any error, syntax error, means in other words, if you are following the rules of the Java programming language, then it will be correctly converted to dot class file, and then this Java virtual machine then again converts it to actual binary, which is required for this computer. As I told, it can be any kind of computer, laptop, server, desktop, etc. So understood this simple software development process as such. If you have any question, definitely you can ask. Let me know if you have any question.
Sir, no question.
Very good. Fine. And right now, whatever we discussed conceptually at very overview level. So as I told, this is software development process. So day in, day out, every day we are following this process. Okay, you will come to know more and more as we progress further. Fine. This is one thing I wanted to show you. Then coming back to this programming language as such. So just I will tell you the points which I want to discuss with you. So there is something called as Java buzzwords. Buzzword means just the special word is given. Actually, these are Java features. So Java is well known for what? Those things. Then Java keywords, identifiers. There is something called as JDK tools, JVM. Just now we saw a little bit. We'll talk more about it. Then every programming language has to handle certain data, and that data handling happens according to the data types provided by that programming language. So C++ has different data types, Java has different data types. They might be similar, but every programming language has its own set of data types. That we have to understand, because ultimately computer is a data processing machine. If you miss this understanding, then it becomes difficult to become software developer. Okay, then also important, as I said, computer is a data processing machine. The data processing happens through operators and expressions. So we should be able to write expressions correctly. So we should master this technique of using operators and writing expressions. That also we will discuss. Then control statements. So in introduction, at the beginning, I use one word, that diversion. So whenever we are on journey, road is not always straight. Okay, there is some turn and sometimes there is a diversion. Means from one from one road, there are emerging two roads. So we have to take one path. So what happens when we take one path? Other path we have to skip, right? In program also, you are writing one set of instruction, but that always doesn't mean you are executing or using first line to last line execution straight away. You have to skip certain statements. Okay. So how to skip that? That is handled by this control statement. It's very easy. It's not very difficult. Okay. But they come under category control statements. So program has so many types of statements. So control statement is one of the category of statement that you have to understand. Then Java is coming up with API. API means application programming interface, but simply speaking, in simple words, it's a set of classes. Some readily available classes are given as a core API, by using which we can speed up our software development process. That's why it is very important to understand what are the existing classes in Java. As a sample, we will discuss one simple class, that is string class, maybe today or maybe in later session, but we should be able to understand what classes are given by Java and how to use them. Okay. And working with arrays. So array means what? You must have seen array. It's a set or collection of elements. So here we are talking about, when we say Java array, it's an array of data elements. So collectively we can handle the data using array. So detail we will follow little later. Step by step we will go from first point, that is Java buzzwords now. So here I mentioned the list of Java features or Java buzzwords. To understand this fully, we have to go into details. So step by step, when you are towards the completion, you will understand fully what these buzzwords or features mean and how they are meaningful. But at the moment, at introductory level, I will discuss all these buzzwords. Okay. First feature of Java is simple. Okay. So you might surprise when we say Java is an advanced language, it is possible to do so many things to do with Java, web application, or Mars rover is created using Java. Means, Mars rover is uh, a small vehicle landed on Mars planet, and its programming is done using Java, something like this. So there are so many applications we can enlist. So it can do so many such advanced things, then how it is simple. So purposely the designer of Java made it simple, remember. Okay. I will tell you one thing. The Java designers, means who has created Java? James Gosling is the name of the scientist or developer, you can say, who was working in Sun Microsystem in those days in 90s. He has created this programming language Java, he and his team. And the motivation behind this was creating a programming language which is simple. Okay, that's why this is the first buzzword, and it's very important feature as far as software development is concerned. Because of this simplicity, software industry is enjoying software development in Java. Okay, otherwise it was very difficult in earlier days developing complex applications using C and C++. No doubt C and C++ are good languages. Okay, they have a lot of features, but the developer has to take a lot of care. There are a lot of risks also. Those who are doing carefully, then no problem. But in team environment, uh, there may become some sort of problem. Okay, so I'm not going into those details what problems are there, but right now one thing you should understand, James Gosling and his team, they were very good C++ developers. They were knowing the drawbacks of these C++ and C language, especially pointer usage, etc. That was a very good feature of C and C++, but it can be badly used equally. Even if it is powerful feature, it can be used badly. Okay, that's the thing. And they avoided in Java. One small example I am giving, how they brought simplicity in Java. Okay. Then they avoided multiple inheritance. There are so many such things which are confusing, risky, error-prone features. They removed it. Okay. Does it mean Java is less powerful? No. Java is equally powerful. At the same time, it gives you simplicity. Okay. Another important feature is object-oriented programming. OOPS. In short, it is referred as. Now, again, it's a separate topic of discussion, but I am not going into all those details. In short, object-oriented programming means what? Uh, Developer has to think in terms of object. But this statement is meaningless for you. Because first question becomes in mind, what is object? That's the right question. Object means a data, not only data, but along with data, what operations are possible on that data. If you encapsulate together or keep it together, that can be treated as an object. Are you getting my point? Object means a combination. You can think as a pair, data and its operation. Okay. Number of data, number of operations, whatever. You can decide it. You have full freedom, but keep it together. So that's called as object. Again, when I come across this term, I thought, why this word object? Why not other word? Why it is a data operation like this, or data op like this? Like today's DevOps is another concept introduced in software industry. The reason behind this word object is what? It has to do something with your real world. This real world, what where we are living in, means I'm talking about non-computer, non-software, non-IT world. Okay. So this real world is full of objects, and whatever you have encapsulated just now, means data and its operation together, that can be directly mapped with real world object. That means whatever problem you are solving, it may be banking software, banking domain softwares, or scientific domain, education domain, manufacturing domain, whichever domain for which you are solving problems, whatever things present in that domain can be thought as object, and same object you can think in terms of software object also. So this direct mapping is a real advantage of object oriented programming. Okay. So that's very important, and all modern programming languages are using this concept, object oriented programming. You just see C++, Python. So apart from Java, other languages also came to this object-oriented programming. C is not object-oriented programming, by the way, because it is before C++, and since it was not it was not object-oriented, C++ was created. Okay. So any questions so far as these 2 points features are concerned, simplicity and object-oriented programming?
No, sir.
Very
No,
good.
sir.
So if you feel something difficult, something panic, or some word is disturbing you difficult, so you can raise hand, or you can raise the question in chat box, or you can directly ask, not a problem, because this is a first session. Okay. So we should reduce the gap between us. Communication gap should not be there. Okay. And the session should not be monotonous. I am not giving speech here. So session must be interactive as far as possible. Okay. So keep this in mind. Feel free to ask the question, because the best learner is always ready to ask the question. Okay. So be comfortable in that way. Fine. Don't hesitate. Fine. Coming to the next feature, platform independent. Now, actually, this made Java very much popular. Other programming languages, where what I mentioned, C++, Python, these are object oriented, but these are not platform independent. So I don't know about Python, but C++ is not platform independent. Okay. So platform independent is one very important feature as far as web application is concerned, because web is spread across the internet, and internet is spread across the world. It's a network of computer networks. So you as a developer, you don't know on which computer your software or your website will be opened. Okay. And what is the hardware, what is the operating system. Without knowing, for that computer, you have to write, and your program should work there. So that kind of requirement was there for uh, website development. So Java perfectly fits in this scenario. But initial motivation, as I told, the simplicity, it was not platform independent. So by the way, Java got this advantage, and it became popular for web development. Its intention was not to create a programming language for web development. The James Gosling and his team, they were trying for a simple programming language which is suitable for embedded software or embedded applications. So briefly, I will tell you what is the meaning of embedded application. So as like web application, another area where Java is shining is a embedded application. So embedded means what? Typically, what computer you can understand. Computer means what? It has keyboard, it has monitor, then CPU, etc. So this kind of office setup, or this kind of computer generally you see, that is not present in case of embedded application. Embedded application has certain equipment or machinery, in that some hardware, computer hardware is fit, that is not visible externally, and it has small memory typically, and in that your program is present, which is running. So coffee machine, if you have coffee vending machine or any other type of vending machine, or set-top box, remote control, automated washing machine, like this, so many examples nowadays are available. Even your television also automated. So these are all examples of embedded systems. So for that also, this Java is perfectly fitting. So that was the purpose, means to create a programming language for embedded applications. And platform independent, by the way, it became useful for web application. Anyway, architecture neutral. So here architecture means hardware architecture. So, in computer, we have motherboard, etc. Okay, so one question asked here, that is, what is Java applet? Okay, so applet, I have not used in my discussion, but I will tell you what is this applet. Applet is another kind of Java application which runs within web page. But nowadays, applets are little bit outdated because of its security reason. Otherwise, applet is very fantastic concept. Okay, applet runs, as I told, in web browser only as a web page, within web page, and it's a graphic as well, always. So its running environment is browser, not your operating system. Understood? It's a Java program, but Java programs are classified in two categories. One is Java application, which runs on your computer and operating system, and another Java applet runs within the browser environment, means Chrome, etc. Edge, Chrome, these are examples of browsers. Within that it runs within the web page. So I hope your query is resolved, Mohit. Are you comfortable now? Good. Okay. So, but as I told, nowadays applets are not used because whatever applet is doing, that most of the task can be done, or almost, or more than that, can be done using JavaScript, and JavaScript is becoming popular day by day and powerful also. Fine. Okay. So I will tell you the meaning of platform independence. So whatever Java program you are writing, suppose while writing, you write it on Windows platform. Okay. So Windows is operating system, and whatever program you are writing for Windows platform, the same program can be run on Linux platform. So before Java, this was not possible. But with Java, this is possible because Java has something called as virtual machine, and because of that virtual machine magic, this becomes possible. And this is one more prominent feature of Java platform independence. And we were talking about architecture neutral. As it is in case of operating system software, hardware platform also can be different. Okay. Distributed means networked application. So distributed system means a computing system where processing resources are spread across the computer network. So Java is perfectly fitting in this distributed application because, as you know, it is nowadays mostly used for web applications, and it has API, as I mentioned before, readily available classes for network programming. That's why distributed programming is one of the feature of Java. Secure. So one reason I told, pointers are removed, the source of insecurity. Then again, virtual machine, and it has component, something known as bytecode verifier, etc. Because of all this, Java is more secure. More secure means what? Tempering the code is not possible. Means someone cannot change your code in between, even if it is going through network, etc. So a lot of care is taken. That's why you can ensure security. Fine. Security again, when we discuss topics in that, once again, we are coming across various securities. Robust. Robust means, suppose while developing program, you developed a correct program. But whenever it is put into the certain environment, because of the fault in that environment, your program should not stop, okay? Or it should not disturb, it should not misbehave, it should not be inefficient. So all these things comes under the robustness. So robustness is one kind of strength you are providing to your application. So I will give an example. Suppose certain person is healthy uh, in his house or hometown only. If he goes to certain cool place, so he may be not feeling well, or maybe viral infection, something, because of that he may be affected. So he is not possessing certain strength, we can say. A certain person is, when going to trekking on some hilly area, in some altitude, means higher, means much more height, when he is going some, has some breathing problem, etc. So he is not possessing that strength. So we can say person is not healthy, or he is not possessing strength. So similar concept in case of machinery and software also we can use, that is called as robustness. It's a health. In whichever environment you put, it works without disturbing. Okay. So Java is made like that. So robustness is there. Exception handling makes your program more and more robust. Java is interpreted. Now, interpreted means, you must have heard this word interpreter. Have you heard this word interpreter? Okay, you might not have heard this. I will tell you. Suppose there are two presidents of two nations want to talk with each other, maybe for certain issue, or certain meeting is there, meeting is organized. So in meeting room, apart from these two persons, these two presidents, one more person is present, and his name, he is generally called as interpreter. The interpreter specialty is what? He understands both the languages. Okay, suppose one president is from Russia and another is from Spain. So Spanish and Russian, that interpreter both understand, and that interpreter makes that conversation easy. So whatever told by Russian president is understood by Spanish through the interpreter, and whatever Spanish president is giving information or sentence, for whichever he is telling, that is understood by a Russian president. So this conversation is complete. So in that way, the concept of interpreter is present in our day-to-day life. So from what we have to understand from this, conversion. So in this case, what I talked in at the beginning, developers write program in higher level language, and computer cannot understand it. It needs to be converted. So for conversion, one component I told, compiler. So similar to compiler, interpreter is another kind of software. In fact, Java has both. Java requires both compiler as well as interpreter. Okay. So in previous diagram, whatever I shown here, only compiler was shown. Okay. Interpreter is not shown, but interpreter you can expect in this Java virtual machine. So it actually understands this dot class file and converts it into stream of bytes as shown here. So it's a integrated part of this Java virtual machine. Are you getting this fact? So it's a interpreted language ultimately. Next feature of Java is high performance, and there must be some reason why I highlighted it in red color. I am coming to that reason little later, but first of all, what is the meaning of high performance? As name suggests, its performance is good, means it may be running faster, it might be using lesser memory, something like this. Yes, it is there, but it's not 100% true, as far as other programming languages like C, C++ is concerned. Java is definitely faster than Python, but Java is not faster than C, C++. Okay, but still there are some techniques like just-in-time compiler and other features because of which its performance can be improved. So this is a feature, but not as compared to C, C++. C, C++ is very close to hardware machine. These languages C, C++ are not platform independence. Okay, so they are faster. That's the reason is different. But at the same time, when we are getting platform independence, the Java code is slightly slower, but it is not too much slow. It is comparable, but not more than C, C++. Okay. So this is what in short, high performance. Multi-threaded. Here one more area where Java programming language is shining. Multi-threaded means what? Multiple executions of program. Means at a time, multiple code segments are running. Okay, so this feature comes under multi-threading. And the specialty of Java is what? Java has made part of its standard Java programming language, Java SE, Java Standard Edition. Okay, other programming languages requires specialized libraries. Okay, but Java doesn't require special library. So as a part of Java language, it is directly available. And that makes multi-threaded programming simpler in case of Java. Okay, so this is one more prominent feature of Java applications. And Java is dynamic because dynamic means runtime. So when we say program, there are two times important: compile time and runtime. So whatever comes under runtime, we call it as a dynamic. So we can directly add objects at runtime in the existing objects of the application. So in short, this is the meaning of dynamic. Okay. So because of this, I will tell you what is the advantage of this. So this makes your application flexible. Flexible means already you have created suppose certain software. Now you want to add new feature. Okay. So as a part of that new feature, if you create new object, so that object can be added to the existing set of objects. Suppose already your application has 20 objects. It is using 20 objects. Now you are creating one more object. So that becomes a 21st object. So when it is running at that time, you can introduce. At runtime, this is possible. And that's the exact meaning of dynamic. So at this stage, let me know if you have any question.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yes.
Sir, could you please tell me the things that we have to follow to become a Java developer?
You have to follow to become Java developer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first of all, you have to understand the Java programming language. You have to learn
Yes,
Java
sir.
programming language. And
Yes, sir.
most importantly, as you said, developer. So as much hands-on you can do as much as possible. That will help
Yes,
you
sir.
to become a better and better and better Java developer. So when we
Yes,
say
sir.
Java is simple, at the same time, you should have very good hands-on. When I say very good hands-on, it involves problem solving also. And another part of hands-on is what? Using existing Java classes. So that
Yes, sir.
library understanding is very important part of Java developer. Okay. Other programming
Yes, sir.
languages, C, C++ are providing library, no doubt, but that library is very small. Okay. But
Yes, sir.
as a part of
Sir,
Java, huh,
should we need any prior knowledge before become Java developer? I mean, on Python, C++, like this.
mm, not necessarily.
Yes,
They
sir.
have some similarity. So when we say C, C++, most of
Yes,
the
sir.
syntax of Java is borrowed from C, C++. So if you know C, C++, that will help you, means you will feel familiar with the code. But
Yes, sir.
meaningfully, you have to understand Java first of all. And
Yes,
as
sir.
far as Python is concerned, Python is object-oriented programming language.
Yes,
So
sir.
that feature is matching with Java. So if you know
Yes, sir.
these languages, it will help you, but it's not mandatory. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But if
Yes, sir.
you are as means see what I'm highlighting here fact. If you see the
Yes.
historic timeline, first came
Yes,
C,
sir.
then C++, and then Java. Okay.
Yes, sir. You're
So
right.
whenever C++ is developed, it is using C++ using all the operators from C or entire C language is present
Yes, sir.
inside C++. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, when Java is created, not entirely, most of the part is removed from the C++ and whatever useful part is considered in Java. So that's what I'm telling. If you know C, C++, that will be better, but that is not a mandatory again. The
Yes, sir.
only thing is what, if you have not familiar with C, C++, it will take little more time
Yes, sir.
to develop your knowledge and skills. That's the only thing. Otherwise, it's not mandatory.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, welcome. Any other question?
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
Sir, so I know basics of Java, like more of Java, core and advanced both. So apart from that, do we need to learn a framework like a spring, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, Spring Boot, uh, to
Mhm.
get into this one, like in job market? Is it like mandatory?
Yes, usage of framework nowadays became mandatory, not for all jobs, but for the most
Mm.
of the jobs.
Okay, so Spring Boot
On
is the best, or
uh,
so, sir, I wanted to know which framework is in more demand or more like easy to use.
yes, Spring, as you mentioned, Spring is mostly used in industry.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever Java development is happening, mostly Spring is used because it gives a lot of flexibility. Okay, and it's
Okay.
lightweight. Hmm? But
Okay, sir.
you have to learn it properly. That's the important thing.
So,
Because
mm,
framework, as you mentioned, it's a little bit advanced topic, but in 1 minute I will explain what is framework. Ultimately, framework is what already some design concepts are considered. Based on that
mm,
design, certain set of classes and interfaces is given ready-made to you, and
yes,
it
sir.
has certain philosophy
Mm-hmm.
of design, and you have to follow it. Hmm?
Right.
There is one word called as design patterns. So
Yes, sir.
based on certain popular design patterns, these frameworks are working. So by combining knowledge of design patterns and these frameworks, you can create
Mm-hmm.
great softwares in less time. So that's the thing. But again, your fundamental, this core Java, what we are discussing, what is
Mm-hmm.
introduction, this core Java is important. If your
Right.
foundation is weak, you cannot flourish in that framework
Mm.
environment as well. Because
Right, sir.
you should know how already classes are developed and how to use
Mm-hmm.
its library. So that
Right.
demands a great fundamental knowledge of Java.
True.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Any other question?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, you said that the computer can read by using binary code, right? So, so the computer can only by using Java can read the binary code, or we can use Python.
See, you take any programming language in the world. hmm,
Yes, sir.
Uh, ultimately, it has to create the binary code.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you are using higher programming language, you are writing in
Sir,
English like language.
sir.
If you are,
Yes, sir.
yes.
Sir,
Anything else you want
we
to know?
can No, sir, you can.
Okay. And if you are, suppose you are using assembly language, so it is little bit
Yes,
difficult. Instead of English like words, it is using
yes,
mnemonic.
sir. Yes, sir.
Mnemonic are not our English words. So those are something different. Means for addition AD, something like this. For storing ST, some small words called as mnemonics are used. But
Yes,
in
sir.
Java like programming language, higher level language, as I mentioned here, see, like words, these are English words, now long, main, native, float, for, new. These are familiar words, no? While you take
Yes,
any
sir.
words in this, these are all Java keywords. So you can write a program using these words. So English
Yes,
language
sir.
has so many words, maybe 3,000 or 10,000 words are present. So we are not saying all words are applicable here, but some words are chosen. Using these words, you can write instructions required for the computer, but computer cannot understand those instructions. That's why it needs to be converted, and that's the job done by the compiler and interpreter. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome. So as of Java 8, this data is given. There are 51 keywords. And out of 51, 49 are in use and 2 are not in use. So I think that's, I have highlighted using red color here. Go to is reserved and const also reserved. Const was basically for constant, but for constant in Java, one more word is used. Where is that? Final. That's why const is not used, but it is not removed also. Maybe for future use somewhere it might be used. Same thing is with go to. Go to word is present, but it is not used. Okay. It may be for future use. Okay. So all these keywords like this. So later we'll visit again this slide for all keywords. Then identifiers. Now, as I told, your Java program contains these English-like words or English words, plus other words are also present. So those other words, which are not Java words, are coming under this category, Java identifiers. So I will give you some examples here. So these are invalid, so I will give valid. For example, student, employee salary, accept number. Like these words, you can. So these are identifiers. So these are not Java keywords. And identifiers, for identifiers, they need to follow certain rules again. Okay, as a part of rule I have mentioned here, it should begin with alphabet. So considering that, this is wrong identifier because it is beginning with digit. Okay, this has special symbol. That's why this is not correct. It has this employee salary has space. Because of these reasons, these are invalid identifiers. So you must take care of this whenever you are introducing any word in your program. So here I given some examples, and if constants are used, they are written in capital. So these are known as conventions. Okay, so as we progress further, I will talk more about these conventions. Right now, I think we should see one small program in Java. Okay, as an introduction, because as I mentioned, hands-on is also important. So here I am using Eclipse IDE. IDE. Can anybody tell me what is the long form of this? IDE? IDE means what?
So it's integrated development environment. Development environment, yeah.
Exactly. Correct. Very good answer. Integrated means what? Brought together. So many things. Development means software development. Environment means it creates one software development environment. Okay. So this is something existing program. I will close all these things. We will create very initial program and So is it visible clearly, or shall I increase brightness?
It's visible.
Okay, fine. So here I will create a new project. So in Eclipse, even if it is a small hello world program, Eclipse thinks it's a project. So we will also think it as a project. Okay. Okay. So I will give its name as a Java training or anything we can give. Usually it is given in lowercase. So I use lowercase words. So this is a dialog box for new project creation. Generally, you don't have to change anything. And since this is introductory session, I am not going into those details. Whatever readily available I am using. Later we will explore this. Then in Java training, in our project folder, it has created two folders, source and binary bin. The source will contain .java files and bin will contain .class files, means whatever created by the compiler. Okay, that's it. Now this is our project folder, Java training. In this, on which I right clicked, so this menu is coming. In this, will come to a package. So package is what? Another folder. In our project folder, we will create another folder. Let's say fundamentals. So package name is given. So as you can see here, fundamentals for package folder is created. But if you see this, it is created in inside source, which was already created when we were creating the project. Okay. So in this package folder, we'll create one .class file. So when I click on this folder, again this shortcut menu is appearing. From this we can select class, and here we can give name as a hello world. And here I will select main. So Eclipse gives you something readily available code here. Okay, so I will go through, read it. Package, name of the package, fundamentals. Then here class name hello world. Before class name, this is identifier, and class and public, these are keywords. This package also keyword. So whatever you see in light red color, that is keyword. All these are keywords: package, public, class, static, void. What about main? Main is also keyword. Why it is in green? Because it is used like an identifier. It's a method name. So main is a method, and we can say it is both identifier as well as keyword. That's why it is shown in different color. And whatever shown in blue color, these are identifiers. This is also identifier, but this is a variable. These are class names. Okay. So Eclipse is showing everything in different color. Now, whenever we want to display certain message, we have to use one statement here. I will write that system dot out dot print ln. Okay. So here I will write my message. Hello world. So generally, this is the first message every learner displays. We will use same. So this is our very small program in Java. So this is editor part. Okay. So this is editor part where we type just now some program. Some code was already given by the Eclipse and some code, means this line we have added. So whatever we enclose in double quotation, this will be the output of the program when we run this. So first I will save this using this icon, save icon, and I can directly run it by clicking on this button, green and triangular white arrow is present. If you see the tooltip, we can read run hello world.java. So when I click on this, we see here output. Okay. This is what we are doing practically. So where is a compiler, you might ask. So compiler is managed by this Eclipse internally. Okay, so you might feel something happening behind the scene. Yes, in Eclipse, most of things are happening behind the scene. Okay, that's why what we will do from next session, we will write program in Notepad and manually we will use compiler, etc. That would be very interesting exercise. It will be little bit tedious to work, or little bit more efforts are required. Not tedious, it is also simple, but little more efforts, little more steps are required. But as like a morning walk, so if you walk, you will be healthy like that. If you take little more efforts, you will be healthy in Java development because you will understand each and everything in detail. Here in this case of Eclipse, Eclipse is giving you most of things readily available. So that's why they are right now hidden from you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, any question in this program, first program?
No, sir.
Okay. So if you want to write some explanation of this program, you can use this symbol. In this, it is called a comment. So this is start of the comment, slash and star, and it is ending with star slash. In between, we can add comment or explanation of the program. So this program is for what? To display a message. Okay. So this is a multi-line program, multi-line comment. So who has written this program? So I will write my name. When you are developing any program, you can write your name. My name is Anil Donwade. Date on which it is created. So this kind of comment is known as header comment, means the comment which is written at the top. So in industry, comment writing is very important because nowadays the most demanding skill, okay, is writing readable code. So that readable code involves both writing comment as well as whatever statements you write. Okay. So that you should write in readable manner. As much you can write readable, that much your code will be accepted. Okay. So that's also one skill. So this is multi-line comment. Similar to that, this is single line comment slash slash. In C++ also, these two comment symbols are present. Multi-line comment is same like this, and single line comment as I am writing now. This is what? Class definition. So name of the class is hello world. It begins here and ends here, line number 13. Okay, fine. Now, suppose if I want to do addition of two numbers, so what I can do? So as like this message, I can write that message as well. Addition of, suppose there are two numbers, 20 is first number and let's say 30. Is 20 plus 30. Something like this message I can construct. Now, whatever plus you are observing here, so up to this part, this is a message. This is the expression. And expression is again combined with message. So here plus sign is used to join the parts of the string. So let's see what is the output of this. So it's saying it's not saved. I am saying yes, save it. Addition of 20 and 30 is 50. Yes, space is required. So I will add here space. Once again I can run. So if you feel this is very long and tedious statement, so we can make it in different way. I can declare here one variable int sum equal to. So this expression I can write there. And here directly I can write sum, variable name sum. So sum is a variable. Output is same. If you want to write these numbers in variable, so that is also possible. Instead of this 20, if I make it x, int x equal to 20 and y equal to 30. That is also possible. So I don't have to write this kind of expression now. Now I can write x and y. Okay, x plus y. This is also expression. So as I can change these values 20 and 30, these values of x and y. I can get different answer like this. So understood this short code. Again, details are involved in this, but being an introductory session, we are not going in each and every detail. But still, if you have any question, most welcome. Are you comfortable with all this discussion, whatever theoretical discussion I made at the beginning and this whatever
Yes, sir.
right now we are discussing program? Feel free to ask queries. That is the main thing in learning. Your queries will make our learning interesting, nothing else. Okay, a curious student can learn better. Okay, fine. Just I am coming back to this slide again. Now JDK tools I will introduce. We will use these tools later. Right now we used Eclipse. Without Eclipse, we can use these two tools, first two, Java C and Java mostly. Other tools are used for advanced purpose. Okay, so Java C is a compiler, Java is interpreter, etc. Java H, Java header, Java doc to create documentation. Java P is disassembler, applet viewer to view the applet. JDB is a Java debugger, and jar is a tool to use uh, class files or compressed class files to create a single file out of multiple class files, and to run also we can use. So explanation of these JDK tools is given like this. Just try to know this. So these are readily available tools coming with Java. When you say Java, JDK is a part of it. So just go through this. Okay, so as I mentioned, serial number 3 and 4 we are using mostly. So first we will use Java C to create dot class file, and once dot class file is created, we are using this launcher. So compiler and launcher, these two tools we regularly use. Okay, fine. Now coming to the Java architecture, means I said James Gosling has created a new programming language, Java. What is its architectural design? Means what is its fundamental design? So that is based on JRE and JVM. Okay. So in short, what is the meaning of JRE? JRE means Java Runtime Environment. Okay. And JRE is specific to uh, system OS environment, means operating system environment. Means Windows is operating system. It has its own JRE. Okay. Linux has its own JRE. What I mean by this, Windows JRE is different from Linux JRE. These are different, remember. Mac has its own, means Macintosh machine has its own JRE. This means different OS has different JRE. JRE contains three things: class loader, bytecode verifier, and JVM. Okay. So JRE is a bit complex thing, right? And what we discussed in that diagram, JVM, is a part of this JRE. Got it? Okay. And ultimately, JVM means Java Virtual Machine. What it does, executes the Java compiler generated class file. So compiler has just done the conversion of higher level code, Java code to binary code, but it cannot be run directly. Okay. It needs to be interpreted line by line by this JVM, and it ultimately runs your dot class file on your specific platform, means Windows or Linux or whatever platform, hardware software platform. Same thing is mentioned here diagrammatically. Try to understand. It may seem difficult at initially, but this block diagram is not very difficult to understand. Whatever code you are writing, that is called as source code, that is given to Java compiler. Java compiler creates bytecode. Okay. So this bytecode is given to the Java virtual machine. Now, as you can see here, parallel branches means it can be given to the one machine and other machine like this. So as you can see, this JVM first, as shown here, it is on Windows operating system, and here it is shown on Linux operating system. Similarly, specific to operating system, different JVMs are present. That's what you have to understand. But at the same time, whatever bytecode is present, that same bytecode can run on multiple platforms. That also means what code you're writing, that is one only, but it can run on multiple platforms. That's why Java can be said as a platform independent programming language. Same diagram here explored more. JRE component is explored here. It contains three things. Na? First is class loader. So whatever bytecode is created, that is available in the form of dot class file. So your application may have multiple dot class files, one or more, that doesn't matter. So whatever number of classes are loaded into the memory by this class loader. So loaded classes are verified. Are they as per the specification, as per Java specification? If it finds something different than specified format of the dot class file, then it rejects, it will not run. Okay, it is rejected. So here one checkpoint, very good checkpoint is given. That's why we can say Java code is safe. And once it is verified, bytecode is verified. Now what is a bytecode? Again, this is another name given for the dot class file. So Actually, it's a bytecode format. That's why this code is also called as bytecode. It's a .class file. So once verified, it is given to JVM to run. Okay, and JVM reads one by one instruction from that bytecode, and that is given to the operating system for execution, and operating system ultimately executes it on specific hardware platform. Now you might surprise, what is this additional block doing here? Just-in-time compiler. Compilation is already happened here. Again, what is this compiler? Now this is just one arrangement to speed up the process. So what does it mean? I will tell you in short. Try to understand. So this interpretation done by this JVM is done line by line. Means one line is read and it is converted. Another line is read, converted. But compilers are faster as compared to interpreter. So compiler scans the entire program at once, and at once it converts it into the binary code. So if we have compiler instead of interpreter, so code run will be faster. But as per the design, architectural design of Java, it requires interpreter. But still slight arrangement is made. Whenever any program is running first time, it is interpreted as usual. But at that time, the converted code is saved by this just-in-time compiler. So that's the process called as compilation. And second time when same program is run, this path is skipped and directly it runs the available code. So exactly speaking, interpretation is not happening for that program once again. So it's a kind of caching. So nowadays, cache memory or in web applications, cache is present. So that kind of network cache is also present. So like that arrangement is happening here, and with this what happens? Java code runs little more faster. Got it? Any question? Are you comfortable? Okay. Now this is one diagram. You try to understand. So one picture is worth than 1,000 words. This one diagram will give you or makes your concepts more clear. So whatever this outer rounded rectangle you see, this is a JDK. This JDK contains JRE. This inner left rounded rectangle, this is JRE. JRE contains Java virtual machine as well as rt.jar. rt.jar is what? It's a Java's own library available in the form of jar file, libraries and compiled class files. So everything is present in the form of jar. So as I mentioned, jar file holds multiple class files. So that library is available. And apart from this JRE, JDK also contains the tools. What we saw in short, compiler, debugger, launcher, uh, Java documentation tool, etc. So many tools are present here. So this is called as Java Development Toolkit, or in short, KIT. Understood this diagram? Any question with this JRE, JVM? I think
Hello.
most
Hello.
of you are tired.
Hello.
Yes.
ये सर ये RT.jar ये क्या चीज है सर?
A set of class files, compressed class files. It's a library, Java library you can say.
अच्छा
Okay.
अच्छा
So whenever I am using string class in my program, that class has to be provided, na? Somebody has to provide it. So that is provided as a part of JDK. Okay. So JDK contains all that is available in the form of rt.jar. Okay. RT means runtime. For that short name is given RT. Comfortable? So this is another diagram, same thing what we saw initially. Once again, let's go through this diagram. Here are different platforms: Mac, Linux, Windows, etc. As you can see, every platform has its own JVM, specific JVM. Okay, but the Java code is same, compiler is also same. So that compiler compiles the given source code to the bytecode. Bytecode means dot class file. Okay, and this dot class file, once created, can run on Windows, same can run on Linux, same can run on Mac, provided that specific platform has its own JVM, means its own JRE. That's why you need to install Java there. Without installing Java, you cannot expect this, obviously, right? Okay,
Sir,
we
one
shall go through
question.
this. Yes.
So JVM is the interpreter, right? So there are two components this whole Java language. Like one is compiler, which converts to bytecode, and then it is interpreted by JVM, right? This is the correct.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you're just confirming, right? It's right. Hmm? Okay.
Okay, sir. I was
So
just
we'll go through
confused.
this data types and we'll conclude our session. These are the called as primitive data types, means these are given by the Java. Hmm? Byte, short, int, long. These are integer types. They vary in size because byte has one byte. Short means 2 bytes memory is used. I hope all of you are comfortable with this concept. What is a byte? It's a unit, memory unit. Hmm? Long requires 8 bytes. Float requires 4 bytes. Now, int also requires 4 byte and float requires 4 bytes. So what is the difference between these two? Float means they contains real numbers, means numbers with decimal point, means 42.86, something like this, percentage, etc. you want to mention. So you need this float type. So that cannot be accommodated in the int because int holds only integer numbers or whole numbers. Float and double can store uh, fractional numbers or numbers with fractional part, real numbers they can store. Then again, what is the difference between these two, float and double? Can anybody tell me? Because most of you already learned Java or C++ or C language.
Sir, float is used for single point precision, while double is used for double point precision.
Double double is used for decimal point, sir.
And float?
Float
Float is also
is
used for
been
decimal. Okay, I will tell you. See, it's not single point and double point. Double word is coming because whatever float has the accuracy, we can get accuracy up to 6 to 7 decimal digits. Okay. Beyond that, we cannot get accuracy in float. But this double type has accuracy up to 15 digits. This uh, accuracy is double. That's why its name given as a double. And there is no other reason. Okay. And its memory size is also double. In that way also you can say. Okay. And this size is same in C language, C++ and Java. All three languages have size and everything is same. Byte is not available in C and C++. Short is available, but it's not as a data type. Some differences are there. We are not going into those details. But in Java, these are the 8 primitive types. Now, whatever two remaining, Boolean and char. So, Boolean uses 1 bit and it stores two values, true and false. Okay. Now, remember, true and false, these are not keywords, but in Java program we use this. So, we use these two things, two words as a values. So, in no one book it is mentioned it is 1 bit because we are using true and false, these two as a values. but internally it is 0 and 1, like that it is used. Char is of 2 bytes. In other programming languages like C, C++, char has given 1 byte only, but in case of Java, it requires 2 bytes. What's the reason? The second last word is saying here. Unicode standard is used. Now, what is Unicode? And what is ASCII? So, these are two standards for character representation or symbol representation. See, whatever symbol we use in computer means it may be digit, it may be alphabet, or it may be question mark like special symbol hash, ampersand, percentage, etc. So, all these symbols are stored as a numbers. So, exactly what is that number? That is designated by ASCII code. So, I will give an example. Every city or every town, you can say, has a separate pin code number. Every village has separate pin code number. So, instead of identifying that village by its name, we can identify by its code. You can think like that. Every symbol has given certain code. That coding scheme is required. So, one scheme is ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. That's the full form of this ASCII. And another is Unicode. So, Java is based on Unicode. Unicode is much higher standard. It is the latest and it can be used for internationally aware application. Means using ASCII, we can use English only or at max one more language. It cannot go beyond 2 languages. But using Unicode, we can create Java applications which can use any language in this world. It may be Japanese or it may be Spanish, Russian, English is already there. Okay. Like this, multiple languages can be entertained in same application. Okay. So this is what our brief discussion of data types and this discussion of about introduction to Java. Shall we continue? I am ready. Are you ready?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, fine, no problem. We'll continue. Now, default value. Default value means what? When we are not giving any value to the variable, automatically some value is given. So that is called a default value. So numeric types have given default value 0, as you can see here. If it is a long type, that is written, that is suffix L is used here. Okay. So when you write 0L, that means long 0. When you write only 0, it is integer. And all constants are treated as an integer only if it is going beyond the limit. Here limits are specified for maximum 127 positive number and minimum negative number 120 minus 128. Beyond that it is not accepted, but otherwise these numbers are treated as integer only. Okay, but for long you have to write suffix L. Similarly for float F, for double D. So D is not compulsory. It is implied, implicitly it is available, but if you want to write a float constant value, or in Java terminology, it is called as float literal, that you have to suffix with F. Every character is written in single quotation, and ideally it should be like this. This is hexadecimal standard. \u you can write, and its code you can write, but this is not compulsory. You can write in single quotation also. So as we can write here, I will show you here. If it is a character variable, char ch equal to a, like this. So this a is a character literal. Character literal. This 30, 20, these are integer literal. Okay. Literal means constant. In Java, they are termed as literal. String, here is something different. By default, string has null value. Ultimately, as a concept, I will tell you what is null. When you don't know at that time, that is written as a null. Exactly what it means, we will learn through program. But right now, you remember, null means not known. Unknown value is designated as a null, and string by default is null. Boolean variable, if it has, it will be having default value false. Okay. Now, what is mentioned here in bracket? For fields. So I will tell you what is that. So whatever these default values are not always available. These default values are available only for fields. And when I say field, field is available only in the class. What is class? Still we have not learned. So leave it right now. Operators. This is interesting topic. It can go to any depth. Most of the Java operators are same as of C and C++, with very few exceptions. For example, these two keywords, size of and delete, these are used as operators in C and C++ respectively. Means delete is not available in C, that is available only in C++. Size of is available, I think, in both, and in C it is definitely available. So these keywords are not available in Java. As like pointers, some things are removed. So these two keywords which are used as operators, these are removed. No pointers in Java. That's why no address of operator, no reference operator. In C++, same symbol is doing double role here. Address of operator and reference operator. So both concepts are not present in Java. No, reference concept is present, but there is no operator. And indirection operator, star. Star is used only for multiplication. It is not used as an indirection operator. So multiple usage of these ampersand and star is not present. So you are relieved from that complexity and difficulty in understanding. Got it? Another thing is, Java is not only removing everything, it is adding also something. So Java has added these keywords, instance of, which is used as an operator, and another is unsigned right shift operator. So what exactly means it, we will see later. But this greater than 3 times when you write, that is called as unsigned right shift. So C++ has left shift, right shift. So Java already has these two operators, plus it has unsigned right shift also. This slide is very important as far as practical is concerned. Fine. So some instruction is coming for winding up because our time is completing. So we'll see this slide and we'll wind up. We'll stop. We'll conclude our today's session. So briefly, I will tell you what is this. There are two columns in this, right? Operators is the first column. Associativity is another column. Also, there are multiple rows. So why not all operators are written in one row, or collectively why not they are written? There is some reason. So this every row represents a level. So these are first level operators, square bracket, dot, round bracket, etc. Then unary operators have second row. Then multiplicative operators, multiplication, division, and modulo division. Then additive operators, shift operators. Then instance of operator and relational operators, equality operators, like this. So these are telling precedence. So when they encounter in one expression, if multiple types of operators are encountered in one expression, which should be given more priority? That is decided based on this table. If that operator is coming before, then before as per this table, then that will be executed first. For example, multiplication plus, if you consider, I will write here somewhere as a code. Suppose if I write one expression like this here, z equal to x plus y into x. Now, two operators are coming here, plus and multiplication. So, which will be done first? This multiplication will be done first. Why? Because as per this precedence, multiplication is at higher level than plus, something like this. So, again, practically we will explore this more. And last point I want to mention here is associativity, left to right, right to left. What does this mean? So just now I talked about different types of operators here, plus and multiplication. But suppose here one more multiplication is coming, something like this. So this multiplication will be done first, or this will be done first. So whenever operators of same type are appearing in an expression, then which will be done first? So that is told by this associativity. So as far as multiplication is concerned, if it is appearing multiple times left to right, that means first left to right means first this multiplication will happen. Then whatever result is coming, it is multiplied with 2 and then it is added with x. And then finally it is assigned to z because equal to has last priority. Okay. So I hope you understood this concept of precedence as well as associativity. So remember these two words, precedence of operators and associativity. Okay, so shall we stop now? Further topics we will explore in next session. So I hope you understood or enjoyed this today's first session, Introduction to Java. So as I mentioned, let's make it more and more interactive. And if any query, feel free to ask. Thank you. Thank you very much.